Welcome to Neutral Voices. I'm Dr. V, and this is In Depth, where we dig deep in the trenches of what matters. And I think I have some interference over here right now.
No, we good.
Oh, you all right?
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay,
it's all good.
We have to censor you today.
Yeah, that's what we were. We were saying some language that, we didn't want to get on. We was whispering it. We didn't want to get it on.
Okay.
Get censored or take it off.
Yeah, we are having a good conversation about uncensored censorship.
Yes.
Okay, and we know it's a lot of that going on in America.
It is.
And I'm wondering if we get to the point where we won't be able to really have any type of freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of anything. Now, watch this. There's a flip to it. Mm-hmm. Because some people feel like you can't say anything. Your tongue is tied. I know in the school system, that's how I feel.
Right.
But then on the other side of things, let's not forget Ye and Kyrie and those guys we talked about last week. Mm-hmm. So they feel like they can't say much.
Exactly.
Or, print much, etc. Right. But then there's people that feel like they can just say anything they want to say.
Donald Trump.
I'm just saying. So we want to talk about that. Yeah. So before we get into that, this is one thing I was thinking about. So imagine America. The land of the free.
As we're told.
But yet, no freedom of speech and no freedom of press or freedom of expression.
Well, E and I was having this before we actually came on. Now, we do in America have the freedom of speech.
At what cost?
It's not just at a cost.
No,
your absolute right of freedom of speech is absolute. You have the right to speak whatever you want to speak, but there are some limitations. No, not consequences. There's limitations. You can't incite riots, cause violence, or make threats. Okay. Those are the only. Okay. Those are the only. In the Constitution, those are the only restrictions.
I wanted you to be clear as far as according to
the Constitution. It's an absolute free speech with the limitations of you can't incite a riot, you can't cause fire, into in a crowded area, which would incite a riot, get people to running. You can't say bomb on an airplane because that's threats, or you can't do undue harm, which is like I'm telling E. We do it anyway. If I was you, I'd go ahead and slap her. You can't incite those things like that. So,
I hope you didn't.
I got a question.
No.
Now, who determines if my language does all of that? So I can say hi to you, and Dr. V can say I'm inciting a riot just by saying hi to you.
I don't think it's that simple, but I understand the point in which you're going.
That's where it's going. That's where it's at.
I believe it could head that way. I'm not going to argue that.
Could head is that way now. Think about it. If I say, put it like this, Dr. V, you look nice today.
Oh, you getting me too.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
You getting me too.
Me too.
Well, I mean, because that speech could be sexual harassment to some people.
How?
If I say you look nice.
To some people. Not to me. Thank you, brother.
But I'm just saying, how would that be sexual harassment if I tell a person?
I agree with you on that one.
I know, and that's where we are, but if you say that to Karen, she might take that the wrong way.
And that's my point exactly. If I say hi, somebody could say I'm exciting a riot.
But it could be your expression, the way you were looking. So did you say hi and put your L Cool J lips out there and start licking your lips and you say hi?
I mean, that's the funny part about it. It is at this point in the world today, anything could excite a riot. Anything could be just taken so far left where it don't even need to go nowhere.
I can see that. That's a very valid argument.
We got freedom of speech, but at what cost at this point?
Okay, so then your democracy is in question, I would say.
I would say our democracy is in question anyway, because the democracy is for the people, by the people. Mm-hmm. And how much of the people do they care about in genuineness, Well,
we still not people, we're property, so go ahead.
Well, no, I'm going to say the democracy is, and I said this during the, 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 the democracy works when you ask me my personal vote, and I vote. Not where, we get these representatives, and some of them we vote for. Some of them work out, but a lot of them, they give you those political promises. Mm-hmm. You get them in office, and the lobbyists and things like that happen, and so where the money flows, where their vote goes.
So when I'm talking about that, so let me just put this out there as far as democracy, because a lot of times people are thinking like, really, what is that democracy? And I hate to say this, but some people really do think of the Democrats.
Right.
You start talking about democracy. So I'm thinking about from this perspective, decisions made by the people, the people participating. Right. Like back in the day, that the town would gather to help make decisions.
Right.
In respect of each other.
Yes.
And human equality, whether rich or poor, black or white, male or female, everybody on the same page, everybody having the same voice.
You're right.
Okay, so, but today, it seems like we're sitting on our voice. Like there's a lot of people that's not really speaking up. So when we're talking about censorship, so for instance, the radio. So I'm listening to the radio, driving down the street, my dad next to me, and all of a sudden I'll just use this particular song. I've been drinking. Not to throw the artist under the bus.
Everybody knows that artist.
So the song comes on. Anyway, so I call the local DJ, the radio station, and I said, I don't think it's appropriate to play that in the middle of the afternoon. So y'all need to change that. He says to me, oh, did that just play? Yes, it did. Well, you just played it. You're the DJ. And then I find out, he says, oh, we don't get to pick our music. We don't do the selection.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, when did this happen? So I didn't realize that they don't even have say-so, but yet they're playing it.
Yes.
And this is a reflection of them as a person, but yet the owner of the station is the person that created the lineup.
Okay, I got one for you. I've just seen something on the infraweb. Infraweb, yeah, that's what I call it, infraweb. But Kanye said this: the top 10 songs on Apple playlists have cussing in it, calling females outside their names, killing and all this. And then on the flip side, they asked a record company owner, isn't that, they was talking about nowadays what they play on the radio, isn't it wrong? And he said, oh, that's the absolutely wrong thing. That's the worst thing to America. That's happening to America. And they said, so why do you promote it? So why would you sign that artist? Know what he said?
I got a family to feed.
I got a business to run.
I got a family to feed.
So let's do the math. One hand, oh, we know this is wrong. We know these lyrics don't need to be played.
Right.
We know this. I don't want my kids listening to it.
Right.
Because it may provoke or stir violence,
things,
etc.
crap up. But on the other hand, this is business. I'm going to sign that artist because he's the hottest thing moving. And we're going to play his music. And I'm going to make this money. I got a company run. I got a family. I got people to feed.
Right.
So there's no morals into none of this.
And that's what I'm saying. So shouldn't we have someone that's governing that? But as I speak about the voice of the people,
the voice of the people doesn't matter.
It doesn't. But it doesn't seem like there's enough of us actually fighting. I mean, because when you start looking at all of the things, even with television and soap operas and some of the things that happen in the middle of the afternoon, in the middle of the day, if you think back to way back, I don't know how far back we can go, but when you think way back when TV did go off at a certain time, or they didn't show certain things until after a certain time of night, etc., and the same for radio. I'm saying, what has happened and where is the FCC and what is their role in things today? Well,
and I'm going to answer. Can I answer one question and then the FCC question? The first question, it's not a question. I want to elaborate on that. You said we don't have enough voices. I totally disagree with that. And I wish, because I researched her name, I researched it, and I couldn't find the lady's name. But there was a lady in Texas in the late 70s, late 60s, early 70s. She, one person, campaigned and got most of the religious programming taken off radio and TV. One person. Now, I know it probably snowballed, but it started with just one person, and she persistently. So why can't just one person say, hey, let's stop that. Let's stop playing that. How did she have that power and that momentum to get that taken off versus right now when you complain, I complain, they just say, oh, that's just the music we play.
Okay, what was she trying to get taken off?
She got all the religious programming taken off radio and television for a while.
The attack on the religion. Yes, community.
Yes.
Religion, period. That reminds me of the attack on schools, as far as them remember over 1,000 books they took out of the school system,
right,
because they didn't want to teach about the history of certain cultures, etc. Thinking
that's still happening today.
That young people
in Virginia.
And that's what I'm saying that young people couldn't handle it. They can't handle the truth. They can't handle their true history.
Yes.
And so therefore we had that. And that's why I say we don't have enough voices. So if one voice can do that, then when 1 million voices come together against evil, I'm saying why are we still in this same situation?
Because you got a million voices. You got 1 million voices that's against evil.
1 million voices singing those same bad lyrics.
Right.
Yeah, but you got 5 million that's singing the bad lyrics.
That's what
I mean, let's be realistic.
You're real.
Right now, we in a fight, good versus evil.
Yeah.
And guess who's winning?
I don't want to say.
Evil is winning because
it's in the lead. I ain't gonna say
it's in the lead.
Okay, it looks like that
because the simple fact that there's not enough. It's to the point where the internet, TV, got our minds numb. Think about it. You look at all this bullcrap reality TV.
Yeah.
What do they show?
Bullcrap. You just said it.
I'm just saying. and it also goes to, if you see me and James fighting, instead of breaking up me and James in a fight,
I'm gonna record it. World star.
Because we like the
drama. You
stuff.
You like that kind of stuff. Instead of having that conscious mind of this is wrong. Where's the morals at? There isn't any morals in the FCC anymore, because they're getting paid off.
And I want to address that, Doc. I want to get to that, but we're going to go with that because. We were talking about this as we were plotting out this show. We were talking about it, and I remember George Carlin. He did a stand-up. It was in October 1973. He did a radio commentary, and it was called The 7 Words That You Can't Say on TV and Radio. And I actually have those 7 words. I'm not going to explicitly say them.
It'd be shutting us down.
Yes. But the first word, the acronym my aunt used to say this was sugar, honey, iced tea. You know, it's manure. The second one, and a lot of people don't consider this cuss word, and I hear people say it, and I've always heard it on TV.
Do you consider it a cuss word?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
But it's
well,
piss.
You get to say it.
It's piss.
Okay, we'll let that one go.
You know when somebody you piss you off.
You get to say it 3 times.
But the other one is for the slang. How can I say it?
I know, just say it. What they gonna do? You allowed to say it 1 time. You can't say it more than 3.
Okay. This now, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. The words now are not express written opinions of neutral voices. The 7 words George Carlin said you cannot say on TV or radio. It was shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits.
I like how you whispering that though, and I'm glad. And I
whisper.
Yeah, those
You're
are bad words.
Man. Speak with your chest.
And you don't have to say them again. We heard you.
Yeah,
but and if you did in America, Google it.
But the top word, I'm going to say, I hear that on regular TV now. You hear that on regular TV programs. Yes. So the FCC, and it's
Dave Chappelle would say all of those and repeat them like over and over.
Yeah, so, but here's what I'm saying. The FCC, they say that they're against obscene nature, obscene content, profane content, and indecent content. That's what the FCC is. But let's look at our programs now. Profanity is prevalent. You can't watch, like you were saying, watch these reality shows. Profanity and all of that. They say these words regularly.
That's right.
And they might bleep them out, they might not, but they say these words regularly. And we are engulfed as a culture. We are engulfed in this.
So even though it's supposed to be censored, but that's the uncensored censorship, because they letting certain things slip through. Right. Even though they claim they're censoring certain things, kind of like those PG-13.
PG-13, yes.
No PG-13 no more.
I was going to say they're definitely not censored as far as I'm concerned. So the reality shows that I don't watch, because it seems like they have so much negative to them. So it's just.
But then it's just not even the words, because let's think about indecency. And you were talking about this. Daytime TV, we see almost pornographic sex scenes on the soap operas. I remember at times in movies, and I know we're older than most people, but I remember a time in movies where
older than most
they'll show them in a bedroom, but then they'll go dark.
Yeah, just close the door.
And you won't see that scene. They'll take them in the bedroom, the scene will go dark, then it go to the next scene. Yeah. It wouldn't have the bedroom
You wouldn't
scene.
have that, and there's so many ways to let us know what happened.
Right.
Him buckling his buckle, we get it.
We get it.
She's fixing her blouse.
We get it.
Yes, but now you have to go through the whole. You have to see everything.
Everything.
Well, see, they don't leave nothing to the imagination.
But.
Period. I mean, just look at it. Well, what y'all just said, they described the whole scene. They used to just let you have your imagination what happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's just like, hey, you don't need to use your imagination. This what went down.
But, okay, let me ask you this real quick. Have you seen Bridgerton?
I've never seen that.
Well, don't see it, because it's like watching a bad movie.
With a porn? Come on. We're all grown adults here.
Well, not everybody that maybe.
I mean, I'm just saying.
But anyway,
realistic.
But we have a standard. And so anyway, we want to keep our standard. And so, so that's one of them. Now, and I was going to say, I get it if it's on Netflix and you have to buy and pay to have it. But, so I think there's a problem when parents, if I can pick on parents, can I pick on y'all? When parents allow these things in the home and they don't try to put any type of censorship. So I'm saying, can I put some blame and ownership on the parents of the home who's purchasing these things for the children?
Actually, E and I was talking about this before we came on. And I said the similar thing, but it's really hard to put the complete blame on the parents. I could put locks on it. I could do this. I could do that. But I'm not a present parent 24/7.
That's an excuse.
No, it's not, because think about it. In the school system, there's things in the school system that go on that I can't prevent. I can't censor the school.
Parents, you think I walk on eggshells at my job teaching for the.
That's you.
I'm just saying for public school. I'm saying
that's
that
you, though,
because
Dr.
of the rules that's in place. Do you realize if I do this, if I clap while I'm speaking, that's a threat? That it can be looked at as a form of a threat. If I make a loud sound, if I speak too loudly, I'm saying there's certain things as an educator in the public school system you can't do. So just what you said, we could be teaching anatomy and somebody's offended. So if it makes a student feel uncomfortable, I just violate it. I can lose my job or be suspended. And you just never know. And so from that perspective, then, so I get what you're saying when you go there. But what I'm saying is we do have to take some ownership at home. It's so fast to put it on school. I know, but wait.
Okay.
All I'm saying is if I'm a parent and I paid for this and I have this, isn't there a way I can just have these particular channels in my room, access in my bedroom, etc.? And so if I'm not there all the time, I cannot leave that to my child. I don't want them to
Okay, Doc B, but here's a flip side of that. You have a toddler, a 3-year-old. Mm-hmm. You put on Sesame Street.
What do you see?
You put on
You talking about the
PBS. All right. So if we're gonna censor one thing, we need to have a limit of what is freely given to, disseminated to children, period.
Absolutely.
So, but there's certain things, and we talk about the uncensorship, like in music. First of all, in TV, you'll hear the N word. You'll hear any other kind of slang word about any race, but there's a certain, and you call them the untouchables. I've only heard the slang word for the untouchable people.
Just
you say the Jews. Will you shut up?
Y'all think you're censoring yourselves.
We have to.
No, we don't.
They will shut your show down.
But we're going to talk about the Jewish people. Okay,
let's just be realistic about a lot of everything we're talking about, because there's no point of sitting here and having an educational thought process or basically a think tank if we can't be real about it. It doesn't make sense. We are censoring ourselves. Now we looking like we're afraid to sit down and talk.
No, I'm not. I'm saying everything I need to say. But I'm trying to say is,
you're trying to be so politically correct instead of being instead of being right. It's a difference.
We're being right too.
Let's be right. But see, we so busy trying not to hurt somebody's feelings.
Well,
and that's what we're talking about right now.
Here's
Censoring and uncensored. We're trying not to hurt somebody's feelings. How many times are our feelings being hurt as a culture?
You have to respect people.
Well, we don't get the respect, so why do we have to sit back and say... That's not what
this show is.
Why do we have to sit back and say, okay, we got to coddle everybody's thought process, and that's the problem right there. We're talking about how...
You are speaking so profoundly, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm not.
Okay, but I'm just saying, the same thing we were talking about being censored, we're doing.
But this is also an illustration of education, E. And I want to say this because what you're saying is correct, and what Doc V is saying is correct. But we also got to understand this is the world that we're in. This is the world we're in.
That's what I wanted to say.
This is the world we're in.
That's the world we're in. But see, at what point do we let people control what we say and how we say it?
Okay.
At what point?
Will you
be realistic about it.
Will you stop repeating yourself?
Because y'all not giving me the answer.
You won't let us talk. You censoring us. You won't let us talk.
Because y'all going...
You won't let us talk. If you stop censoring us and you stop talking, let us talk.
I'm going to tell you like T.I. Because y'all starting off with some bull.
Okay,
let's go.
Okay, are you okay with your emotions?
You in your feelings right now?
I'm on my feelings right now.
Okay. Go ahead, Doc V. Then I'm going to put him in there. Go ahead, Doc V. Go ahead, Doc V.
I got some.
Go ahead, Doc V. Come on. I got him. Go ahead.
I'm trying to make a point here.
Go ahead. I was trying to do, Doc V.
I believe is valid. What I'm saying, and I need to be clear what I'm saying to parents. I teach students. I teach high school students, 11th and 12th graders. This is what your child says to me. My mom, my dad, y'all know they throw mom in there first, don't care what I watch. They don't care what I listen to. I am speaking facts to you from the educator in the classroom who teaches 40 students, male and female. And they say the same thing. I've been teaching in this same environment since 96. And I've been hearing this same thing. My parents don't care, or my parents are never home. My parents don't know what I listen to. I said, do your parents know what you listen to in that earbud? Because I can hear it. No, my parents don't care. Or this one. My parents listen to the same stuff.
That's true.
The only thing I'm talking about is you can't complain about something that you have opened the doors to in your house. And I believe that's how come we don't have enough voices speaking against it, because a lot of voices are for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, E. Okay.
Now, crybaby. Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
Now, I've been called worse by a lot better.
Now, you got your feelings?
No, I'm still on my
you got your feelings. You on your feelings. Here's a problem. We talked about this. We talked about this with Ye and Kyrie and everything. It has gotten to a point, and the politically correct, I'm going to wholeheartedly agree with you on that. But it has gotten to a point where I'm the least politically correct person in person. But I got to respect the domain of where we are. Not only my livelihood depends on what we do, I have to respect the domain of everybody else's. There's nothing I can do that I would adversely affect your livelihood by my maliciousness. Now, if we were having a conversation, if we were off the air, I'm the least censored person there is. I don't curse. That's why those words, that they didn't sound right coming from me, because I'm not a cusser. I don't cuss. How many times have you heard me cuss?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
So
giving you the
6
floor.
times tonight.
6 times.
How many words?
You go down in history.
Right. But I'm not a cusser, so therefore those words are. But what I'm saying is, there's too much pressure put on, and I'm talking about livelihood, and this is where we are, and this is an illustration of education by the FCC. There's only certain. That's why I think we titled this Uncensored Censorship. When we say stuff, and I'm going to say we as a black culture, when we begin to say stuff, that's when it becomes a problem. And this is a black-owned business. And I'm trying to preserve the integrity of this black-owned business. We're going before a lot of people. That's why I was trying to be sensitive. If we was off the air, I'm going to say what I got to say. But in certain formats and certain platforms, because this is not just my livelihood, I have to be mindful of the whole livelihood of everybody that's in this operation.
Absolutely.
Okay,
and so I know we're out of time.
Yes.
I'm sure.
Yes, we're out of time.
I'm sure we're out of time. So I didn't
give me the mic no more.
I didn't get.
We
Can't have the mic no more. Go ahead.
This dude overtalks me so much
sure
as
do.
the host.
Yep, I sure
It's
do.
hard for me to continue through my notes so that I can get everything I need to get to you, America. But we do have tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. But I do want to say this. So thinking about what you just said, I just want to say this real quick. This is a nice way to end this. If I can keep his emotions down.
I don't have any emotions.
We should be careful, is what I said. We should be careful how we use our language and different concepts. Because censorship is not the same as being sensible. We have to understand what it means to be decent in everything that we do. And so, like Clarence said, being a black platform, coming out the gate, we're judged. Coming out the gate, we're expected to do certain things and to perform a certain way, even if it's just mediocre. And you have to make a choice. And so I just want us to own our words and know that our voice truly matters in the things you say. Because some things, once you let it go, you can't take it back. And so with that being said, this is Neutral Voices. And I'm going to say, as we always say, protect your mind. But tonight, we want to remind you to also protect your voice.
And your emotions.
Yeah.
Just
thank you. See you next time.
Y'all so full of
Y'all better get out of here because this dude getting ready to start
I'm gonna keep
again.
going.
Yeah,
keep
we'll
going.
see you.